Oh, we're on. Hi.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, guys. Morning, Shankar.
How's everyone?
Hi, Soraya. Hi, everyone. How's my best buddy, Jason Desmond, alias JD?
His internet is not working.
My connection is really bad. I'm hoping everything works out.
Are we lagging or something?
I think for 4 of us, it's okay, but JD's a little choppy. He's sort of like robotic motions right now. But has it been extra slow because of, bandwidth?
Coronavirus?
No, maybe it's a submarine line that was the cable. Oh, we lost JD.
He's gone. Did I say something? Has he left because he doesn't like me? What is it?
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that he was your best friend.
I can't help myself. When I see him, I do that every time.
No, apparently I read in the news that there was this submarine cable that was broken underwater in Hong Kong that's causing our internet to all be a bit slow. That, and also because I think everybody is using the internet right now.
Yeah. And everybody is a little bit slow as well, generally in life, because we're not wearing pants most of the time. That's the problem.
Speak for yourself, Shankar. I am wearing pants.
Yeah. Don't get up, Shankar.
Look at me.
Our first live comment from your assistant, Shankar, Pamela.
Oh, wow.
Pamela says we're not lagging, so not to worry. Good morning, Pamela.
Morning, Pamela.
All right,
Pam.
So
do some work.
All right.
Why are you joining?
Who knows?
Life? Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? What MCO day are we on now? I have lost count. I know it's been a month.
34.
Yep.
34.
I've been keeping count. Yeah, 34.
You've been keeping count.
Hopefully, we have one more week to go in this phase 3. 7 more days, 8 more days, guys. Not too bad.
I don't know about that, because right now we're getting reports. You see, what I'm happy to see is how the daily positive cases have gone down a little bit from 100. It's gone down below 100. But at the same time, they've also announced new clusters as well. So a bit worried about that. I'm hoping for the best, and especially now it'll be a different kind of fasting month for me as well. I won't be going back to the kampong to have or my parents' house, which is closer. So it's all going to be in-house. So and actually during fasting month, it's probably better just to stay at home. There's nowhere I can go really except for work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if we'll be allowed back into the office after the 28th, right?
Are you prepared, Sean? Are you prepared for the fasting month to do it at home this time around?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, because I don't think there's much to prepare for except for preparing the meals for breakfasting and things like that. So that's just going through the same run to the supermarket like how we've been doing so far. So the only thing that's missing is probably just the togetherness with the whole family, because for a whole 30 days we would sometimes spend twice a week breaking fast with the family, and then the next question would be how would Raya be like, and eventually, right? Even my parents, they live in in PJ, so they're used to not going back to the kampong for a long time already. So their place is just in PJ, and that's pretty much my kampong or not. The real kampong experience comes from my wife's family, which is in Kuala Pilah, and they might feel a bit very sad that the Raya that we might be experiencing will be very, very different. You see, the Raya would be, our house in Kuala Pilah is the base, and then people come over for a whole 2 days, non-stop, right? So this year it will be different. So she's a bit sad about that, but I'm hoping for the best. The first things first, I think we want to be safe and healthy first, lah.
Yeah. I think we are all going to prepare for a new normal after this MCO. We all have to prepare for that because things are going to be different. I mean, in China, in Wuhan, they actually skipped Chinese New Year. They were under lockdown the entire Chinese New Year. So if we have to do that here, we have to do it, you know, for the interest of everyone. Let me just say a quick good morning to everyone who's just joined us. Melin Lee, Joelle, Sunny, Liz Hodges, Damian Lancaster, Eric. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone who's just joined us on our Facebook Live.
Morning.
Good morning,
actually has a question for you, Soraya. He says, how do you manage to be on air while being on FB Live? What is your secret?
I remember getting this question last week as well, and I realized only after we finished the Facebook Live that I never really answered it. I was just kind of like, leaving everyone guessing. So
yes, I want to leave people guessing, or are you going to share your secret?
Yes, I will share my secret today. There aren't two of me. I don't have a twin who is on air as we speak. I just pre-recorded my 11, so it's 11 o'clock. I pre-recorded my 11 a.m. hour. I scheduled everything, and so I'm in two places at one time, sort of. Yeah, it's all pre-recorded. Yeah,
the wonders of modern technology that we're all having to accept nowadays. And and all of us actually literally can't perform at our workplaces, with our families, connections during Ramadan month. All of this is only available and accessible because we have technology and we learn. In fact, older people are really learning how to leverage on technology. My mom and dad from Penang call me twice a day now. The first week was really, really nice to do WhatsApp videos with them. But now they just call me when I'm in the toilet. They call me when I'm cooking. They call me when I'm having another Instagram live session. And I'm like, Dad, stop. And you're stalking me. I think my folks, my dad is 77 and 78. My mom is 76. And they're just very, they live in an apartment in Penang, which is very nice, very beautiful, very comfortable. And it's not as difficult for them to get food and things like that. But I think they just miss human interaction. And my father wrote me a very, very, poignant note the other day. And he said, the one good thing about the MCO and the whole virus situation right now is that my sons, one in Kuala Lumpur and one in Switzerland, speak to me twice a day, and they never used to do that before. And I think, in a sense, this time is also, whilst you are not able to go to Kuala Pila or you're not able to go to PJ to see your folks, you tend to feel closer sometimes because that absence, and it really puts it in front of you that you have to be with your people and be with your friends and be with your family. And I'm just calling random people, and funnily, all of them are just replying and saying, hey, it's really nice to see you, finally.
We all crave that human interaction, I think.
Yeah, but on that note, where you said, thanks to modern technology, a lot of things are possible now. I just can't help. Sometimes I would imagine if this were to happen like 20 years ago, where internet is not that advanced just yet. Can you imagine how I'll be communicating with you, with our boss, Belle, JD, and Soraya? I'll be writing letters to you guys, and my boss will receive in the next couple of days.
Might be better to communicate that way. Who knows?
Then you won't get to see your parents twice a day, Shankar.
Yeah. No, but you feel more isolated, I think. Yeah.
Somebody asked me this question. Sorry. Somebody asked me this question the other day about, how, what happens if this happened earlier, 18 years ago, 20 years ago, when we had a 3310 phone and, send 144 texts or whatever. I think whilst we're very lucky with technology right now, I think the human spirit is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think if we got stuck with this 18 years ago, we would have found something to do. We would have all worked ourselves into, whatever we have at that time, that's what we would have used. And because I think this is the time when you can see the human spirit rising more than anything else. There are doomsayers and people who say things like, what is so nice and why is everybody being so positive and blah, blah, blah. But really, that's the only thing that's going to keep us going. You know, so if anybody tells me, how can you be so positive all the time? I say, what do you want me to be depressed? I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be upset.
We don't want,
you know, I don't want that at all. You know, so want to be positive all the time. And I think we would have found a way, even 18 years ago or 20 years ago.
Yeah. How do you stay, like Shankar, it's easy to tell people, oh, you have to stay positive, you have to think positive thoughts, but how do you do that? How do you personally do that?
I get up every morning. I listen to, right at the beginning on the 18th of March, when the MCO started, the lockdown started, I was lucky because someone sent me a message from Commander Chris Hadfield, who was the guy who was from Canada, the astronaut working at the International Space Center. And he was, you know, in the ICI for 6 months in isolation on his own. And he said the first few days were really like, you know, nice because he got away from his family and he could calm himself down. And then it became really difficult because he was isolated. And he realized after a few days, or I think a week or two, that the only way he could do is manage 6 months being in space was every single day to set himself a target of what he will accomplish. You know, can I tell you my secret to actually staying positive? It's only one thing. For the longest time, I never used to do this, but I have done this religiously for the last 34 days, and it helps me. I get up every morning and make my own bed. Making my own bed. I mean, I've seen the memes. I've seen the video of a Navy officer telling us that we should do that, you know. And I thought, what is that, you know, all about? But now I do it. I am a little lucky because I have a house with a pool in my house. And I don't need to share it with anyone, which means that I can swim and there's, you know, it's virus free and all of that, apparently. I've lived in this house for the last 12 years. And my wife, the pool is there because my wife, you know, she says all these matales, you know what I mean? Like, give me the sun, give me this, give me that, all that nonsense. That look at me, I don't want to increase my color in any way. It's perfectly fine as it stands, you know. And after 12 years, I am now swimming 30 to 40 laps a day. And I'm addicted to swimming 30 laps a day, 40 laps a day. In my small pool, 25, 28 meters, which is not a full-length pool. And I make my own bed. I think what we need to do is just set ourselves targets every day and then achieve those targets and actually work at achieving those targets. And as soon as we do that, we feel a sense of accomplishment, and that keeps you buoyed all the time. You know, if not, you go into a funk. You know, everybody goes into you know, I can't manage this, and you know, a difficult. I don't want to be like that now. That's a question that you have to tell yourself. I don't want to be like that. You know.
Interesting.
Yeah. But Sham, you swim a lot, right? I mean, like, how is that right now that you can't actually? If I remember correctly, where you live, isn't a pool right in front of your place?
It is. So they've cordoned off the pool. They don't want anybody to be swimming in it.
Have you snuck in yet?
No, I don't. So I'm observing. Well, I'm observing the MCO real well. I don't even go to the gym. That's just about 50 steps away from me. Just because, you know, people share it. You see, it's not about what I think whether the pool is virus free or not. I think right now all I'm doing is just obeying the MCO to the best that I can. If I were to have one pool like how Shankar does, where you know it's not shared with any other people outside, I wouldn't miss the pool so much. But right now I'm missing the pool. Plus, at the same time, JD, I don't use the pool here too much for training because it's only a 12.5 15-meter pool. Yeah, it's really small.
You'll be turning more than you'll be swimming, right?
You go to PJ Palms all the time, right?
Say again?
You go to PJ Palms all the time to swim, right?
Yeah, that pool or the one in Bukit Jalil, you know, public pools at a time where not many people are there, and I get the full length of the Olympic size pool to train. Yeah. So that's, if you remember last week, I said the first thing I'm going to do is jump into a pool. It's one of those pools that will be jumping in. So when the MCO is lifted, you want to find me there, lah?
All right. But what is everyone's targets? You've got different targets, everyone?
Yeah.
What's everyone's different targets?
Well, my target of the day, every day on a weekday, is to finish my work in time so that I can spend more time with my children. Because I think on on the weekdays, because we are still working, we are still on air, so we still have to finish everything and prep for the next day's show. So my target every day is just to finish as quickly as possible and to my best ability, and also and then after that spend some time with my children.
And that gives you a sense of achievement every day, isn't it? Just finishing your work and then being there for your kids. And I mean, that's really important, huh?
Except for weekends.
But I think
all the schedules out the window. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like me, I'm living with a family. Some of us live with families, but JD and I'll go with Soraya first. You live alone. How do you have a target? Is it easy to achieve a target?
Yes, it is. And actually, it's easier because there are no distractions. There's nobody around to be like, oh, actually, I want to eat this. I'm like, no, but I wanted to, cook this, and it takes a shorter time to cook, so I can stay on schedule. So it's actually quite useful just being on my own. And at first, when the MCO started, I was like, ooh, I'm going to be basically it's just me and these four walls, right? But setting myself a daily schedule, I don't know about a target, but just having a very structured routine has been really, really helpful for me. Just knowing that, okay, when I get up, yes, I make my bed, Shankar. I'm in the make your bed to boost productivity club. So I do that. And just knowing that I've got that, and then, okay, got to make breakfast, and then we've got our morning meeting, go on air. And then in the evening, I've got like a fixed routine as well that I try to stick to. So that's been very useful for me, I think.
How about you, JD?
Sorry.
How about you, JD? How about you, JD?
I've been doing the workouts a lot. So that's because at some point, once you're done with work, and Bella and I, we generally finish by the afternoon, right? So afternoons, I'm like, I don't want to nap. And I find that every time I start to nap, I get super lazy. So I've been doing a lot of the workouts and whatnot. So it's pretty fun to be on the balcony working out, and then after that, see what the neighbors are doing, and they do some wild, crazy stuff, man. Some people have been doing laundry, hanging out their clothes in like...
JD, stop stalking your neighbors.
You know what, Shankar, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, maybe I should, because I've been doing a lot of online shopping as well. I'm like, I wonder how much a telescope's going to cost, of binoculars and stuff. And that's not even a joke.
That's part of your schedule now, JD. In the afternoon, after I work out, look out for neighbors, check out what neighbors are doing. That's part of the
guy who plays this Chinese violin, whatever thing, and I'm like, my God. So it's like,
it's called an erhu.
Yeah, so it's strange, but it's quite wacky. So I don't know how things are gonna be after MCO. That I'm gonna miss that.
JD, do you play any musical instruments? Because you can accompany her while she's playing the erhu in her house.
Yeah. I play the guitar, and I play my organ. I mean, the organ, sorry. So, yeah.
You can follow the Italian, example and start a whole orchestra in your apartment complex.
Let me just say hello to some of the people who've just joined us. Hello, good morning, Helen Lim. We have Julie, who's watching all the way from Texas. Teresa Kok, good morning. Min Kai Kijang and Brian Will.
Is anyone from Michigan? I would love to.
I would like to just say to Teresa Kok that good morning, Magnificent Four, and I'm not Dr. Shankar. I'm just Shankar. You're looking for Dr. Philip. You're looking for Dr. Rajban. They're different people. We're all Indians. We sound the same sometimes, but we're not the same people.
Yeah, but a lot of times people text us on our DG LITE line asking for Dr. Shankar, the psychologist, or
my father is going to get very upset about this because, my father is a PhD doctor, and he says, you have to earn the right to be called a doctor. You are just goofing around on radio all the time. So I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, you know what? The other thing I do to help? I've noticed that everybody is eating way too much during the MCO period, right? So I have done... we lost JD again. I keep upsetting him. He goes every time I say something. You know what I mean?
People are eating too much. That's me.
Yeah, it's me. So what I've done is, on the advice of my cardiologist and my just a wellness doctor, I now do intermittent fasting, and I only eat between 12 o'clock and 8 o'clock, and I try to do one meal a day. And it's really funny because I'm not expanding as much energy as I used to with training programs, because when I'm training, I'm doing 6 to 8 hours of standing up and talking to a group of people, and you're very tired when you're finished. Right now, I'm at home. It's a fairly sedentary lifestyle. I mean, I'm on the phone more often than actually going out. I'm not, whilst I go to my restaurant, I have chefs. I don't personally cook all the time. I mean, I cook for myself, sometimes in my own restaurant. But I now eat.
Shankar.
Say again? Yeah.
You have been swimming, so that's expending energy, right?
That's the only expansion of energy every day. That and making my bed. You know what I mean? So those are two things that I do a lot of. And I've gone down to one meal a day, and it is absolutely amazing. The other thing I've learned about myself in this time is I went to the ATM machine and I withdrew 300 ringgit and kept it in my pocket. And I found myself still having most of the 300 ringgit after 2 weeks. And I thought to myself, why do I spend money on, I don't know, for the lack of a better word, just like dumb stuff all the time? You know what I mean? I'm just buying and consuming. And haven't we all realized that we don't need very much at the moment? All of us, we live a much smaller life.
Is it because you haven't been out buying anything either, Shankar? Yeah. It's your wife that's been going out to buy groceries. That's why the 300 ringgit is still in your pocket.
I sent my wife to the supermarket the other day. She had to call me to ask me the difference between bayam, sawi, and stuff like that, right? So I'm the shopper in my house. I'm not the typical Malaysian man.
But have you guys saved up? You think you're spending a lot less on a monthly basis now? I think
Hell
so.
no.
You, Belle? Really?
No.
Like JD and I, we've been online shopping like mad. So like I pay my credit card every month.
Foot massager. Belle and I had to buy mics, and now I bought like different things. Hey,
JD,
by the way,
JD, you're only buying all these things to make yourself feel better. Talk to me more regularly. Give me a private call, and I'll help you with this addiction.
Yeah, I should call you about giving me a foot massage, because that was what my major purchase that day. Yeah, you were supposed to buy a laptop, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not buying that yet. I can still do with whatever I've got right now. Sorry, Belle, you were saying something?
No, Teresa called who called Shankar Dr. Shankar. He says, sorry, Mr. Shankar, I know how you feel. I'm mistaken for the Adun Teresa Kok and get reprimanded sarcastically by netizens.
Also, she's not a Teresa Kok. I was just about to say,
I was going to say, YB from Sapute, can you please not call me doctor anymore?
Yeah. By the way, since we have everyone online right now, you know what? Because we're going to be doing this every single week, and then we've been talking about what we've been up to for the past month in MCO. Let's for this week, and I want everyone to start putting this up on the chat. And we're gonna hold you to it. We're gonna screen capture it. We want to see how much you've learned in a week. So next week we're gonna come back to this, and we want to see what new skill you've picked up and what's your target. All right. So everyone from today, pick up a new skill. What do you want to do that you've never done before?
Can I please start the ball rolling by asking JD the skill that he's going to learn this week is not to do online shopping.
That's a new thing for me. I've never done it before, so I thought I was quite happy with that. But Shankar, new skill. You're a very skillful person. What's your new skill that you want to? You have 1 week to do this.
Increase my ability to speak Tamil, my mother tongue. I cannot speak Tamil properly to shoot myself. I mean, I can do street Tamil, but I find it so difficult. And so
now street Tamil.
It's like bahasa baku and bahasa pasar. That's the difference.
All right.
Between the Tamil.
Bro. No, that's street.
Really bad. That's really bad. Stop insulting all the Indians in Malaysia. Stop it. Right? Okay.
Okay, Belle. New target, new skill.
No.
Oh man, I've been learning the guitar, the acoustic guitar, for 6 months now, but I haven't had a lot of time to practice. So hopefully by next week I can play a complete song, and I'll post it.
Can we hear a song from you next week?
I'll post it up on my social media.
Do it live. Do it live here.
No, the pressure.
Okay, Sham's been thinking about this for a while. Sham.
Yeah, Sham looks like he's got something to say.
Yeah, well, here's about a new skill. I don't know. I don't think I want to learn a new skill. Let me tell you. I am just this honest person who just who is observing the MCO, but at the same time, I cannot wait to have the MCO lifted, because I'm a person who needs to be out. All right. Yeah. If you ever speak to my wife about this, I think she's been quite annoyed with me while I'm being at home around the clock. So I've tried. So what I'm supposed to do is wake up in the morning, I make breakfast, and then after that, when my son has his online classes, I'm supposed to be there with him. At the same time, I'm supposed to do a bit of work prep, and then going on air and things like that. The only new skill that I might have tried to acquire is to try and become a Discovery Channel producer. If you see that video, so you see,
I did. That's brilliant.
It's not brilliant because there've been a lot of birds flying around at the condo. So I tried to even put a camera trap. Right, you know how these professionals, they put a camera trap and they get the best visuals of these animals. So I tried to do that, and it didn't turn out well. I only got 2 birds flying down to the water.
I want you to put in away. If you're going to do it again, your new skill. Every time you narrate, you need to say the word "crikey."
Crikey.
Crikey.
I might. All right, I'll give that a thought.
How about you, Soraya?
Yeah.
Soraya.
I have been trying to make bread, so
Did you buy a tandoor?
I did, but that was easy because I didn't use any yeast. Right. So the thing is, I like to cook, but I'm not so good at bread making. I cannot master. You got to like room your yeast, right? You have to put the yeast in water that's warm enough to activate the yeast, but not so hot that it'll kill the yeast. So I just can't seem to get that balance right. I'm either killing my yeast or I'm not activating it. So I've had to throw out bowls and bowls and bowls of yeast, and I end up making bread that just doesn't rise properly because the yeast is just not.
Baking is such a science. You know, it's not like going into the kitchen and throwing things together. It's such a science. I mean, actually, to be honest, that's one of the things I'm learning as well at the moment, which is to bake. I'm a terrible baker. I think I'm a decent cook, and I have a restaurant and stuff like that. I've cooked for Sham before, and also JD before. I also think I cooked for Belle before.
Belle,
but
yes.
And a few nights ago, my wife, bless her soul, I'm getting. You know, mine is the other way around. Like Sham, your wife might be getting a bit annoyed with you. Mine is, I'm getting annoyed with my wife because she's constantly like hanging around and saying, "What are we doing next? What are we doing next? Should we do something? Should we do something?" You know what I mean? That's all of that.
Yeah.
And at about 7 o'clock in the evening, she told me, I really want something sweet. I want a cake. Can you go out? And it's like 7, and it's almost at the end of the curfew period, kind of, MCO, everything shuts down at 8. I said, you can't do it, And I had some self-raising flour in my house, and I have like an abundance of lemons because I'm addicted to lemons. And I made a lemon cake. And you know what? It was nice, except I tried to make the lemon frosting. And I forgot the science behind baking, which is you can make the frosting, make the cake, and the cake is lovely. And then you have to leave the cake alone for a good 2 to 3 hours so it cools down. Because I waited for about 20 minutes. And, I could put the frosting now. As soon as I put the frosting on, it melted. And when it looked like a bad road accident for a short while, but it tasted very, very nice.
So what can Soraya do?
No, we haven't got to your story yet. Your new skill.
Wow, look at the time. It's so late. I think I have to go.
You're not getting away with this, man.
Right? Your new skill that you're going to pick up in the next week.
My new skill. It's so overrated. And you know what? Let's just move on to the next topic of discussion, shall we?
Oh my God, you're not going to answer this?
No, okay. My new skill is to... I don't know how many people actually know that. I don't know how to whistle.
Oh, okay. So you're going to learn
I'll
whistling.
show you. I don't...
Wow.
It's just simple stuff like this because I'm a highly skillful person and I've picked up so many different skills. I don't know how to freaking whistle.
Even my 9-year-old daughter can whistle.
Oh, wow.
Can somebody teach him how to whistle, please?
Yeah. I don't know how to teach someone how to whistle. How do you teach someone how to whistle?
Yeah, someone needs to hold my lips really close.
Yeah, I can whistle. You just do that, see, and then and you just blow it out. You just blow.
I can't do it.
Just blow
I
air.
can't do it. Yeah, I want to have like small things. Yeah, as long as I can just hit. No, it's not just whistle. I want sort of skill that I want to pick up is I want to do that. I don't know.
With the tongue.
Yeah, really loud one.
Yeah. Did anyone here do that? Because I want to see that.
Susie does that. My wife does it. She's what? She can actually whistle with both hands. Yeah, I might call her and ask her to
like this.
Demonstrate for us. Yeah.
That I don't know how to do it. They under your tongue.
Wow, that's interesting.
You just so you put first. All right, listen to me. First and foremost, wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Okay.
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
All right. And then
how
do you do that? You just take these two fingers and then you roll. You use this finger to push you take it to the lower part of your tongue and then you push it up. Right, push it up and then you roll it up like that and then you blow air. Yeah. And
must it be the first and the third finger? Must it be?
It can be. It can be. It can be any. It can be any.
I need a towel.
Okay. Let me just
Wash
say good morning to the people who have just joined us. Cecilia Chai watching from Kuching. Hello, my hometown, Kuching. Nayan, Harun Johan. Joel is surprised that I'm learning the guitar. Yes, I have been learning for the past 6 months, but I haven't been able to play a full song. We have Michael Uy who says, "Love you guys and miss you all. Stay safe."
Stay safe yourself.
And Justin Wee just posted a YouTube video on how to whistle. So maybe you can go and get the tutorial.
Yeah, it's for JD.
We have Sharon Hugh, who just joined us as well, Chia Eileen, and Sean Cole.
And I also have a question. Joel says that he recently learned to play Ed Sheeran's The A-Team, so that might be a song for you also to practice.
That's awesome. So remember, put up your skill that you want to pick up. You have 1 week, and then we want to see your progress by next week. So it has to be up on the.
I have to pick a skill
at all.
And JD will whistle next week.
Yes.
Frozen again. I think what we need to do is help JD fix his internet first.
Can you? Yeah, my internet's horrible.
TM, we're shouting out to you. Can you go to JD's house and get his internet fixed?
Yeah, I've been trying different things, man.
But
all right, cool.
Yeah. So I don't know what we've been doing so far. I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of people who have been very inspiring to help out with people in need at the moment. I think the number of people in need is just increasing, especially with the whole MCO. Some are not allowed to work, so they're not earning money. So I've been inspired by that. I've done my part a little bit, and so I get a WhatsApp. I'm not going to be the one who's going out to be giving things, but if there are some people who needs my help in terms of monetary funding a little bit, using the right channel, so I would do that. So I some of the things that we're also doing at LITE is also the hashtag Terima Kasih Hero thing. Yeah, and at the same time, I think Shankar, you have been providing 6,000 meals or something. How's that going? How's that going?
Raised 40,000 ringgit, Shankar, to feed frontliners and more than frontliners. Can you tell us about how that came to be and how it's been going?
It came to be because of two things. Firstly, I own a restaurant called the Pine Grill, and I realized that I have 10 staff. And as soon as the MCO kicked in, a couple of days on, I noticed that everybody was quite demoralized in the place at work, and everybody felt kind of, what are we going to do? Are we going to have a job at the end of this month or next month? My managers were okay because they are a bit more skilled, but a lot of my workers fall into the B40 category, and some foreign workers, and they were struggling. They don't have enough savings and stuff like that. So I said, listen, we will do what we can, and I will protect all of you as much as I can. That was my first task. And I came back and I thought, who needs? What is? There are day workers, there are people who are daily wage earners, there are frontliners who are not getting food. So I called my local Balai police and I said, how is it working with the Taman Tun police station? And the officer in charge of the police department, Tuan Mohsin, who incidentally listens to LITE and knows us from there, said that, hey, Mr. Shankar, thank you for calling and blah, blah, blah. We've been working for 4 days non-stop and we're running on fumes. We don't have enough food. We can't go back to our families because we have to keep the social distancing and so on. So I decided to speak to my friends, my family, my colleagues, some of my clients, and as many people as possible. And I got my own office involved. And I said, we want to go out and give as much food as we can. We started this off with 200 ringgit. And in 30 days, or less than 30 days right now, in about 20 days, we have raised 42,000 ringgit as of now, which is the equivalent of 6,000 meals. And 5,500 of those meals have gone out already. They've gone to hospitals. They've gone to Klinik Kesihatan. They have gone to police and RELA and soldiers who are manning the traffic and not being able to get to food. It's gone into refugees. It's gone into foreign workers. It's gone to OKU Central through Razali Baradzi's organization. We are working with a couple of other organizations called Healthy Initiatives Equity, which looks after refugees. And then more and more people started coming in. Like, for example, we had a foundation that came and gave us 7,000 ringgit, said, we like what the work you're doing. We had an individual donor from Penang who called me and said, hey, my mentor, for many years I've known him, he called me and said, you're doing such great work. I can't get out right now, but here, take 3,000 from me. We had a Tamil newspaper called the Makal Osai, which is the only Tamil newspaper I think available right now. They contacted me and said, we've got the OSE Foundation and we want to give you some money. And we've got 42,000. And then halfway through, I also decided that I want to give more back as much as we can. So I came up with this project called the Project 100, which is you put 100 ringgit now and you will get 100 ringgit credit at the Fire Grill to eat fully. So which means we are giving that money out from our pockets. We're just taking it from you right now, giving it away. But eventually when the MCO is over, you can come and eat for 100 ringgit and not pay your bill to the tune of 100. So basically that money is coming out of us, coming out from our work. And that all of us got together, we did it. Yeah, I think that's one of the ways to stay positive. One of the ways to stay positive is not focus on and concentrate on what your problems are at the moment. Because we all have problems, from Sham not being able to go out, from JD spending too much money on online stuff, from Soraya living alone at home, and Belle having to finish her work every day, and then seeing her kids and everybody's around. We all have problems. Some are trivial and small, but they're very large problems for us as we are dealing with them, right? And if you move your mindset away from the mindset of constantly worrying about stuff to mindset of doing something which is bigger than you, which is more extrinsic than you, you feel better. I always think you feel better. And, like good people like Soraya, I know has come on and given us some money for our fund. I know that our guests, Dr. Philip George, he keeps donating small amounts of money every 3 or 4 days. He goes like, I think I'll give you a bit more now. I think you're doing a good job. I'll give you a bit more now. You know what I mean? So people get inspired by themselves also that they're helping and doing something good. So yeah, that's how it's going. And we are, as I said, right now we've earmarked 6,000 meals. And there is a suspicion that the MCO period might be extended. We don't know. We have to leave it to the health professionals to make the decision. But if it does, then we will continue to do it as much as we can, as often as we can.
Yeah, I think it's great effort, Shankar. But I also want to bring up, since you brought up about how people are ordering online and things like that. I've been doing a lot of cooking at home. Once in a while, we feel like having just to have a taste of the outside world. So once in a while, and also to support the economy, right? And these riders as well. So I would order some food outside. But I don't know whether you realize this, guys. I kind of feel like it is very different. It's either I'm getting used to the food that my wife cooks, I myself cook, or it just, the quality of the food is different when you order pickup and delivery and when you eat it there at the restaurant. Do you guys have that kind of, do you feel the difference?
I have been getting deliveries for lunch, because I have no time to cook lunch. And of course, certain things that it tastes better when you eat it fresh, but certain things are okay when they're delivered. So it just depends on the food that you order. Yeah. But of course, nothing is as good as if you eat it fresh, you see. Yeah.
Some foods travel well and some foods don't. I mean, as a restaurateur, I can tell you that. Like, for example, that's why at the Fire Grill, I'm not plugging my own restaurant, I'm just telling you what I'm doing, which is...
Yeah, we just did 3 times already, my man.
So I want to tell you a little secret in terms of how we do it. Like, we do a lot of grills and steaks, right? And I realized that you can't send a steak out to wherever you're living, which might take an hour or an hour and a half or 45 minutes, and the steak won't be right.
Yeah.
Right? So what we do is we reverse sear it, and then we give you a little bit of homework with a bit of instructions and tell you to actually do the steak. The final step of the steak is done in your house on your stovetop. We've done all the prep work. We've reverse seared it. We've sorted it out. And we're getting really good feedback because now the piece of meat is beginning to taste, the lamb and the steak and the lamb chops are beginning to taste like how they should be. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we realize that when you cook at home, it's cleaner, definitely. And you put ingredients that you know where they're from. You also moderate things like your salt and your oil and all the things that are supposedly bad for you. And after 30 days, you have no choice but to like your wife's food, Sham.
Yeah, well, no, I love. Look, listen, I love my wife's food. I keep, she's the one who's being very, very particular about certain things. How does it taste like? Is it enough salt and things like that? I said, look, man, it's great. It's great. Now, let me tell you where I'm standing. We're Malaysian, so Malaysia is a food haven. So a lot of us live to eat. I'm trying to stay in between, live to eat and eat to live as well, especially at these hard times. And I think that's very essential now, because especially when people are some people do not have enough food to eat. That's the kind of thing that they worry about. So my wife does great food. I think I'm having it, and I'm doing this whole thing where I cook one roast chicken and then keep, and then for the next few meals. I'm just also wondering, Soraya, do you cook more, or do you order out more?
Well, so okay, I haven't ordered any food for the past 10 days, I think.
Wow.
My meals.
You've been cooking.
Yeah, for over a week. I thought, oh, can I really do this? Because I don't have a very huge fridge. But
oops, Brady's gone again.
Yeah, he'll come back. Yeah, he'll be back. Don't worry.
And you all noticed I wasn't saying anything to JD at the time.
Okay.
Not me always.
It's not you, it's him.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it hard to just cook for one person? I find it really hard, to cook for very little people. Like if it's just me and my husband, I'd rather just eat out or order in. Okay. So Soraya, do you find it hard to cook for one person?
Before you answer that, can I give you a restaurateur's tip? One of the things that we do is we repurpose food all the time. Right? So just like what Sham does, you make a roast chicken today, and then tomorrow it becomes a chicken sandwich, and the day after tomorrow it becomes a chicken rendang, a very quick chicken rendang that you can just use fried chicken. In fact, all our mama restaurants will tell you that's what they've been doing for a long, long time anyways. Because today's fried chicken becomes tomorrow's roast chicken, and day after tomorrow's and day after tomorrow's special chicken, as we call it.
So Soraya, you've been cooking since the MCO started. You did not order. You haven't been ordering.
I've ordered maybe since the MCO started. I maybe ordered in twice.
Right.
It can be tough to cook for one, but I'll imagine that I'm cooking for a lot, then I'll just eat that meal over the next few days.
So you batch cook, right? You batch cook,
Sorry, I batch cook. I do batch cook, and usually the meal will last for 2 to 3 meals. It gets a little boring, but then I'll probably make something else and then save that other meal for later. And it's actually been okay. It's been great. I didn't think that I could actually go more than a week without ordering any food. But yeah, I've managed to.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love to cook, so it's been actually really, really fun.
Great.
How about you, JD?
Yeah.
What have you cooked this week or last week? What did you cook?
I made a Moroccan beef stew.
Wow.
What else did I do?
That's fancy, man. That's fancy stuff.
No, it's just whatever I had, because I had bell peppers and I had like a paprika and whatever.
Are you just calling your food whatever you feel like calling when you cook it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have
I'll call it a Moroccan stew today. Tomorrow,
I mean, it's not like I have a restaurant at the, like you, right? So, but because I have cooked before and I have worked in restaurants before, so these are all recipes I picked up from my previous life. So I just made it at home, and the only difference is I just realized how horrible my stove is. So right now, my next big purchase is probably going online and looking for a nice stove.
Stop buying stuff. Stop buying stuff.
Is it difficult to cook for two as well? Because it's you and your wife, right?
Yeah.
Is it difficult to just
it's all right actually.
Fresh every day.
No, I do it like Soraya. So if I can, like because stew you can keep it for a few days as well, right? So that's fine. Like in the mornings, I make whatever it's I find. So if it's like French toast or whatever, or corned beef, that's just for the day. But the rest of the stuff like curries and whatnot, we cook it for enough for like a whole week. So it's stressful going out. My God, I hate going out to the supermarkets and then whatever. So the less I have to go out, the better. So whatever stuff I have, I'm just gonna cook it for at least like a week and a half.
All right, fantastic. And
for me, I think I'll just add, like, because I'm not the best cook, and recently I found this Facebook page, which is just hilarious. It's all about cooking fails, because you know what? I've been seeing so much on my social media lately of how everyone is turning into a master chef at home, like baking breads, making all this like gourmet meals and all that. And I'm the one who's like, oh my gosh, I'll give my kids a cheese sandwich for lunch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I found this Facebook page, I was like, yes, finally, people are not cooking well either. Things are being stuck on the pan and things like that. So it's like,
and you begin to realize, right?
Better, yeah.
And you begin to realize that as you cook more, you begin to realize that it's not as easy, or we only get to see the final product. There's a lot of work that goes into cooking, and that's one of the difficult things about cooking for an individual, for yourself. I mean, I cook for my wife and me, and Sam, who's my house helper, the three of us. So I'm actually cooking for three. But what I tend to do now is I tend to cook a lot more, and I ask the people who work for me in the restaurant to work for everybody else, and I will cook for you guys, so you have a meal a day. So I cook at my home and send home cooked meals because I'm very lucky, because it's very close, and also because I have the restaurant. I have a dispensation to go to the place that allowed me to go to my restaurant and come back, because we're doing deliveries and so on, right?
Yeah.
So I still end up cooking big batches, but now I'm cooking I make amazing things for the people who eat and work at the people who work at the Fire Grill. Like the other day, they had lemon chicken, and everybody went like, "Oh, nice!" You know what I mean? Something different.
You're gonna add it to your menu next, huh?
Maybe not, but I have no idea what I cooked, but it was so right now.
That's the fun thing.
At the end of the day, the moral of the story here is not everyone can cook. Like not everyone is born with that, with the ability to cook. So
and also,
so I am just glad that I am still.
And also, you need to remember that you are not the worst cook ever. As well. There are also.
I'm glad that I'm still contributing to the economy, and I'm also very glad that I have my in-laws, my mother-in-law, who's a great cook, and we can get home cooked meal every day.
Nice. Oh, you're so lucky. Yeah, mother-in-laws cooking are the best. Yeah, they're the best. And here's the thing I find about cooking. I don't think like for myself, I always remember the time when I was studying where I had to cook for myself. I never relied. There was no YouTube to see any recipes at that time, so I never relied on any recipes. I just put in whatever, and that was just to feed myself. So that was fine, whether it tastes good or horrible. It provides sustenance, so it doesn't need to be that good. But now with a bit of experience, so what I'm trying to say here, even with you can go get your stuff from the supermarket. At the same time, just try it out. Just cook it up, fire up the pan and just put whatever you want. You can start off with the challenge for me is always doing a scrambled egg. Eggs are to me one of the best challenges. What I like about it, how I like my scrambled eggs, it has to be runny a little bit. And sometimes I go overboard, and I thought it's ready, but once I turn off the fire, it's like, oh my God, it is overcooked. So I find, I find a lot of fun in challenging myself to cook a nice set of scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs.
It's all about having fun.
It's a fantastic life skill also because it's translatable into everything, right?
Yep.
Right now is the time where we go into our pantry, go into a fridge and say, whatever we have, we'll take that and we'll cook it. And there was a chef from somewhere else in the world, I can't remember now, and his TV show was called Cooking Without a Recipe. And that's essentially just open my fridge and take stuff out. And in this MCO period, we don't have access to everything, all the best ingredients and the best cuts of meat and whatever. You make necessity is the mother of all invention, they say. I mean, Sham, I completely agree with you because I can cook today because I, like you, had to cook for myself when I was at university because I'm from Malaysia and I need to eat rice and curry regularly. And I live in England and I couldn't do it and I didn't have money as well. So that's how I started cooking. My entire cooking career started with cooking for myself and doing it for 25 years.
Well, my 9-year-old daughter knows. Yeah. My 9-year-old daughter knows how to do scrambled eggs the way that she likes it. So
hey, that's starting early. That's good.
I just wonder something now.
Although it's something that I don't like doing, and not everyone is as creative when it comes. Like I can open my fridge and I know I have this and this and that. I'm like, what am I going to make with it?
Actually, on that topic, on good cooking, bad cooking, whatnot, is it possible, like in the chat, can you put up pictures and stuff? If you can, I don't know, that'll be great.
No, I think
actually,
cook something, take a picture.
I have our DG Light line right here with me.
So we send it over. Just take pictures of your whatever food you're doing, and we would love to see your good stuff and also probably your horrible stuff. But you can send. By the way, yeah, Belle's right. She's got a DG Light line with her right now. 016-510-8888.
We have had people sending in their meals or what they've cooked and whatnot. Yeah, I will forward it.
And I can start the ball rolling by sending you a photograph of my terrible lemon cake the other day. My really bad looking lemon cake.
I thought you said it tasted okay.
It tasted okay. It just looked horrible.
It was like soup, frosting soup.
No, but okay, maybe instead of sending us your your beautifully cooked food, maybe you can send us your
horrible
fails. Yeah, so that it will be better.
I'd love to see that.
So for next week, what we can do is what are the new skills that you've learned? Tell us about that, and at the same time, pictures of something that you've cooked, isn't it? That's what we're doing now.
Something that you goofed up with.
That'd be brilliant.
I mean, even if you want to show off some gourmet meal that you've done, we accept that still. So
there's some food, right? I don't know, like Indian food, it just tastes great, but it looks like puke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Indian food always looks like somebody else ate it first.
Exactly. No, it tastes great, but pukey,
I think I'm
most delicious things.
That's not the word to use to describe someone's food.
My mother is going to be calling you, JD. My mom is going to call you shortly.
I don't mind.
Oh my God, it tastes wonderful. But it looks like barf, So
I don't mind showing pictures of the things that I can cook. The one thing I
obviously there's an Indian guy who unplugged him right away.
So the one thing that I wouldn't show is me sautéing a mushroom, because I tried that once and I put it on video, right? But I edited it out because when I was sautéing that thing, just flipping it, some mushrooms just fell out on the floor, man.
Oh my God! Put it back in the pan, didn't you?
Like 5 seconds.
No. I throw it away. Is that what you do?
JD and Bella are really expert mushroom flippers. We've done that before.
Yeah.
Really good.
Shankar taught us, And by the way, Sam, don't worry about it. There's always a 5-hour rule, right?
And we didn't blindfold it, Sham. So if any fell off, we're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say hello and to the people who've just joined us. We have 5 more minutes left. Richard Law say thank you, LITE FM, for keep entertaining all of us during this MCO. You're welcome. Thank you for listening to us. Mike and Praveen says hi, hello.
Mike is the head chef at the restaurant. I'm the restaurant I'm not supposed to mention. I won't mention it. No more branding.
I'm going to sneak another mention in there.
And Charles said hello specifically to JD. JD,
really?
do you remember Charles? He said he interviewed you about Grab Def.
Yes, because at one point they were doing all these because for Grab they were having all these special licenses and whatnot. We interviewed a lot of people, and one of them was about special needs drivers, I suppose. So he came in and he was deaf and he was hearing impaired. He had like a people from the Deaf Association come on board. It was absolutely amazing, and I just on that I actually had a delivery from someone, and he was hearing impaired as well. And I just love that they're just taking charge of their life, and then they're actually doing work, and it's not a disability. It's just part of who you are. You can still live a regular life. I just thought it was great. But yes, Charles, I remember you.
All right.
And we got one question.
Yeah.
From Damien to Soraya, do you speak fluent Mandarin or do you speak Mandarin at all?
I went for Mandarin classes for 10 years when I was a kid. I did everything, all the, calligraphy, from the calligraphy to the singing of the songs. I can still sing some of them today, but I can't speak fluent Mandarin. I just can't. All that money my parents pumped into those classes. The drain.
I know exactly how you feel, Soraya. Exactly with my Tamil right now.
Well, I, on the other hand, didn't go to a Chinese school and didn't learn Chinese, but I picked it up after I finished school. So I can't speak basic conversation because I had to. I was chosen to play this role in a Chinese TV series, so I hired a tutor and I was just, drilled. Just having, I think we have to be immersed in that. That situation or that atmosphere before we can actually just continue speaking it. Because right now I haven't spoken Mandarin in so long, I forgot it.
Learning a language.
Only in swimming terms, all right? Because we used to. I don't know whether you remember this, Belle. There were many coaches
from
that
China,
we brought in from China, so they could speak in Mandarin only. So I started learning about how do you say swimming? Yo-yong.
Yo-yong.
Swim, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. And then we kept saying Jiao coach. Yeah, we call him coach. And then he was saying the numbers. You do 10 times 100 meters. I forgot how to say that. But all I remember was when we're doing all these sets, 10 sets of 100 meters, and then all we were concerned about is either Ika or Liangke. One more or two more sets to go, right? So that's all we're concerned about. So my in terms of Mandarin, I only learn it, but in the swimming lingo lah.
And learning a language is always about immersion. You're absolutely right. You have to be immersed in a particular language to learn it. Yeah. I go with my wife to back home where she comes from, Austria. I've done that for 13, 14 years. When I'm there, when I immerse myself, I actually have picked up lots and lots of German words. I can almost conduct myself without her translating only because of immersion technology. You have to be there to do it. And just like swimming, you're in the pool listening to the coach every day. Therefore, you have to do it. Yeah.
Okay, that's another thing I'm writing down. Okay, so for me, it's whistling. So I can whistle at the woman who always does the laundry on the balcony with nothing on. And also, number two.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's not a good thing. She looks kind of. And number two, I'm going to learn Mandarin. Yeah. Okay, Mandarin is the thing. I've done Mandarin before.
Before we leave, actually, here's a fun fact. Sham and I actually met much earlier, like when we were both still swimming for our respective states. So I didn't realize that until I came over. I started living in KL, and Sham started being on radio and emceeing events, and that's when we met, like at events and all that. And like I used to swim. We used to swim together. So I'm like, yes, wow, that's
and Belle was the babe in the swimming world at that time.
Oh, I
Every
looked
guy.
like a boy. Hello. I was mistaken for a boy. Okay, that's another story for another life.
Hello.
Belle,
you remember you and I swam against each other at one time for a challenge? I look like a dugong, for crying out loud.
That's why it's like never ever again.
I saw that. I saw the both of you, right? We bumped into you. I think you guys were doing a challenge, you tried to challenge Belle for this swimming competition thing, and I saw it. And I know for a fact that Belle hasn't swam for many years, but once you're a competitive swimmer, if you, JD, want to go up against Belle, I know the results already. I would have known. I said,
you will be JD, you'll be completely dugonged.
Yes, I was gone. I climbed out of the pool, I jumped back in, and then tried to beat her and everything, and I still lost.
No, maybe we should do a challenge, Sham. But I mean, of course, you have been swimming more than I have the past couple of years, so I'll probably.
You know what? I will offer you guys after the MCO period my little pool, 28-meter pool, slightly longer. It's square. You can do laps if you want, and then we can do a full race, and we should get Dr. Philip and Dr. Rajbans with his turban and everybody else in the pool at the same time. Right?
Okay.
We can have a nice pool party after this and invite our as well.
It's 1 hour already. Final words to our adoring LITE listeners. Anything starting with Sham?
Yeah, so thank you so much for still being with us. I've enjoyed doing these live sessions that we're going to do a lot more of. Also, just want to remind you to please, although we're staying home, keep the hygiene level at a high. Keep washing those hands. If you've got sanitizers, use those as well. Just want you to stay safe and stay healthy.
All right, Shankar.
Thank you for having me. It's been a fantastic morning. Great way to start Monday. I agree with Sham. You have to stay safe. You have to be stay at home, observe the MCO. But most importantly of all, I think you need to be really kind to everybody around you at this time. Be a little bit more accepting of people. Don't get so angry as much as you normally do. And secondly, keep yourself buoyed all the time in everything that you do.
Soraya.
I think if you are feeling kind of directionless during the MCO, if this has been tricky for you, a routine really helps. So maybe write down what you're planning to do in the day. That would be very helpful. Stay safe. Thank you so much for joining us on these live sessions. They're really fun. And if you have any tips for bread making, please share. And we will see you soon.
Well, my message is just stay safe, stay at home. Even though you feel very healthy, it's not just about you, it's about other people around you. We don't want to have sporadic cases. Now that we're getting the virus under a little bit of the control, a little bit of control, I think a lot of us have to remind ourselves that it's the virus does not move around, but we do. So the virus can move around with us. That is why we all should still stay at home.
All right. I've got 3 things. Number 1, frontliners, thank you so much for everything that you do. We love what you do. Thank you. And it doesn't matter whether you're in the medical line, whether you're in armed forces, or whether you're just delivering food. Yes, exactly. Thanks, Sham. We love you. That's 1. Number 2, I just want to remind everyone, it's important to stay informed. So yes, watch the news and whatnot. Don't get too engrossed with it, because if you watch it 24/7, you get overwhelmed with it. But with staying informed, make sure that you're getting the right information. Don't pass around information that's false. If you're not sure, don't forward it, because fake news is everywhere. And number 3, I just want to thank you, LITE listeners, for tuning in, and thank you for keeping us company, because it sometimes gets a bit lonely at home as well. So thank you for keeping us company. And from all of us at LITE, we want to say thank you. And I got to go back to online shopping.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you guys again.
Thank you for having me, Belle, and everyone else.
Bye.
Thank you, Shankar.
Shopping!